What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today, and welcome to a 3D scan, which are my favorite kind of tracks, by the way, of Jason Anson's private Supercross track in San Isidro, New Mexico. Now, this track originally was a public track called J5. It is now Jason Anson's private track, and this has been created, scanned by, put into the game by Johnny Bang. And there's, if you hear me mute some audio throughout the video, that is because as we get closer to the van over here, we have some very copyrighted music. It is a band called Reviver, who Johnny Bang occasionally fills in on drums for, and I'll be honest, the music perfectly fits with the Team Fried theme. I'm not going to play it in your ears, but when you get to play this yourself, you'll see what I'm on about. But this track is due to come out in about the next 2 weeks or so, so we got an early build here. You see, just things like the start and timing just need doing, and some off-track smoothing out and things like that. But since it's a 3D scan, this should be ideally as one-to-one scaled as it gets. So I'm really excited to do this, and we don't get 3D scans in this game very often. It's not many people have the ability, the equipment to do so. So I'm very excited to try this out. I know that Bradley Clay as well has just bought a drone to be able to try and 3D scan some tracks in the UK, which I'm also excited for. We're going to see how this goes, and it's worth me showing, if I zoom in quite close on some of the bits of dirt here, it's not perfectly smoothed out either. He's specifically left it a little bit rough in places to try and get that realistic feeling. So very, very excited to do so. Let's just spin some laps. Hopefully I can put a nice clean lap together as well to show all you. And we are just going to be rocking the KTM, but Triumph skin today. So let's put some laps on.
For all of you passionate gamers, you can now get 20% off all G Fuel products worldwide by using code LINS at checkout. And for any of you motorheads looking for some new drip or apparel, use code MXPR_LINS15 fxrracing.eu to get 15% off. All links and codes are in the description down below. Enjoy the video and drop a cheeky little like and subscribe.
So as we exit the pits here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a little bit of a track marker right about here just before we hit the finish line, and let's just see how this goes overall. Let's try and get some laps down, see what's what, see what the scaling is looking like and feeling like. Since it's more one-to-one, I imagine I need to be a bit slower and a bit more precise. I think patient is probably the right word, and we'll see what kind of laps we can run on here. Step on, step off, step over. It looks like there's little high bits on those on-offs, so if you want to land on the left, or you can like downside it easier on one side than the other, and the other side helps you step off of it a little bit. Be interesting to see if I can try and quad all the way up and out of that jump as well. Got a little double here, skim across the whoops. It's worth mentioning the only thing that isn't done directly from the scan on this track is the whoops. Johnny said that he's had to rebuild the whoops from scratch, which I understand, but it's probably quite hard to get them nice and smoothed out and game ready based on a scan. But they didn't seem too difficult on my first pass through there. I love how just detailed. Obviously, of course, it's going to look photorealistic as a scan. I mean, the track mask itself is a 16K mask, which is very, very high resolution. That does come with its drawbacks, to be fair, because of how this game is made and optimized. It does mean that the file size is going to be quite big. So for me to download this early version, it was 1.2 gigs, which is a hell of a lot. But all of the 3D scan tracks that have been released on this game do have very, very, very heavy file sizes. It's just one of them things. I mean, it's not the most well-optimized game in the entire world, and that comes with its drawbacks, of course. But if you're someone that likes your photorealistic tracks, you like things to be slowed down a little bit, more one-to-one scaled, then this is probably exactly where you want to be. I do believe this track is going to be free. Don't take my word for that, but I know that when you apply for shop track, so to speak, you have to meet certain requirements, and the lower file sizes are part and parcel of that. So I think it is purely just the file size that would stop it being shop track material, if that's the right word. I want to see. Oh no, I don't think I'll be able to step over that. So I think step on, step over double is probably the way to go, because I hate singling into corners on this game. And then shall we see? Oh, I don't know if you can quad all the way into that corner there. I don't know if you get enough pop for it. And then I need to accelerate a little bit harder out of there. Basically, the whoop section, really straightforward. It's really easy. Hey, when Johnny sent me a picture of this, he sent me a picture of just this bit of track here, and at first I thought that we might have had another wall ride similar to TC's track recently, but I don't think that's the case. I don't think I'm going to be doing any wall rides at all. And then you'll notice on the 90s, they got quite quite sharp and steep entrances. But I've noticed a lot of that on some real life tracks. They are proper nice. You have to kind of get into them dead straight on, check up, cut down, and like seat bounce your way out. I get, ooh. I wonder if I might be able to step onto that from the outside. Actually, we'll give that a go as we come around. So go around to the left, got a little tyre tap triple there, scrub the finish line. I keep over jumping it to stay on the track. A little bit of rough on the exit, so I'm trying to lean forwards as much as I can, get that weight down onto the front wheel to keep it tracking in a straight line. So if I step over to the left here, that makes the step over easier. Then step off, double. Trying to stay a little bit lower in some of these berms. These berms are very, very steep, so I'm trying not to get too high into them to make sure I don't get any funky physics. And jump here, let's jump a bit further out than this double, get ourselves set up nicely, double upshift through the whoops to try and carry all that momentum through. And then, oh, I jumped a bit too far to the right there. No, I'm not going to be able to do my little double from there. So can we triple off of that? I think it's triple, double is the way that I'm going to want to go. So let me turn around. I want to give that another go. It might even be worth doing it from the inside. So we come around here. We'll double this into the corner. I'm going to try and roll this. And then can we... There you go, triple. Oh, that triple's a little bit of a stretch, and then double round to the left. That berm's nowhere near as steep as the other ones. Much more mellow. Over jumping the finish line again, because I don't learn my lessons. I'm recording this actually just before DDC round 8 starts, which it might be a bad idea. Just it might ruin all of my muscle memory scaling wise. But it's one of them tracks. You know, you like I said on the intro, you do not get 3D scans very, very often in this game. So I kind of jumping up at the opportunity to give one a go. I remember the first ever 3D scan track that I played on this game. The video actually done incredibly. It was something like the future of tracks in motocross games, or the future of motocross games. I can't, something along those lines. I remember it was it like an east, it was a, I don't even know the right word for the area of the world. I don't want to say it wrong. I want to say it was like Latvia, something like that, a track in those sort of areas. Maybe I don't know if it was like Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, like places like that, you know, that sort of region. But the track was really, really fun on that as well. Someone will have an idea of what it was called. I really can't remember anymore, but I imagine it's still there on MXB Mods to go and download. I might revisit that at some point, especially now the years have passed and I've had a new computer since originally recording that. My computer could probably handle it much better now with no lag at all, and it's handling this track fine, just perfect frames, haven't had any dips at all anywhere, so very happy with that. Let's just do a little double in, then a double again. Can I then triple this to there? You can, and then a little single into the corner. So there does seem to be some alternative rhythms as well. Lap times are underneath a minute. You're looking at around the 50-second mark, I reckon, if you was to put in a steamer of a lap. Well, there you go. I mean, I just hit a 49, and that lap wasn't particularly amazing. Let's try and push it a little bit. Let's see what we can do. Let's go on, off, step over, or tag the back end a little bit. That's okay. It kind of helped us in a way. Checked up speed. Got our soupy triple there. I'm not going to risk trying to go for a full-on quad, but we're going to jump into the berm, double our way out. I'm actually going to try and carry 5th gear through these whoops. Oh, you got to try and get stopped at the end of them. Let's check up a little bit for that. Hit our single there. Pop the front wheel up. I noticed in the in the 2024 season, I probably shouldn't be stopping halfway through a hot lap, especially since I'm up. This lap's not going to count. I'm just going to try and stop so I don't cross the line properly. There we go. You'll notice this little obstacle here, they've done a few times in 2024, I think. So you can... It's like an on-off, but the on of it is really low. And it was interesting watching people like Jet here, this where they kind of manual up onto it to begin with, and then they get their pop off the top of it. So I think you're kind of going to... And to do this in-game, I think you're going to want to jump the wall jump a little bit, so then your suspension compresses on the landing. You can then use that rebound of the suspension to pop that front wheel up and over, and then you can do your normal rhythm through the rest of the section. So I'm going to give that another go this next lap round and see how that goes. I'm going to scrub this bad boy, try and stay lowish in this berm. I don't want to go too high. Don't want to make the angle of cutting down out the corner too much. I'm going to try and stay a little bit tighter on the inside here because I've overjumped this step on a couple of times. But then on, off, I'm going to stay to the left so I don't clip my back end. Double out, round to the left. We're going to stay... Oh, that was not low at all. Oh, Jesus. There we go. I mean, in hindsight, think about it, I probably should have run some Jason Anderson replica skins. That probably would have been a smart idea. I believe they... Oh, I believe they do exist out there. I think there's some... Well, actually, don't know actually, because there's some older Cowie ones. To be fair, like I don't know if they fit on any of the newer models, but I don't know if there's any up-to-date ones. It's been a very, very long time, to be honest. We don't get too much replica stuff these days. The only stuff that we do get is the a lot of it's the race winner stuff that Petch makes each week. So whoever wins at a round, he'll replicate their gear in game. And then other than that, you get like your standard Degans and Lawrences and all that good stuff. But people don't tend to branch out too often. I really want to see if I can quad this. Is there a high spot anywhere? Let me land this properly. It's hard to do on the fly. Let me slow it down. Is there a high spot? I don't think so. There's a slightly lower side here where it hasn't been all like fully smoothed out just yet, where it's a work in progress. Maybe the middle of it is slightly higher. I might try and see if I can take off on the middle, but even then, I don't know if it's steep enough for me to be able to get enough pop to get up and over and quad the whole way. So your best bet, if you don't want to single into corner, might genuinely just be to go double. That might be the way to go. But we'll try that next lap round. It all depends on how well you downside the Supercross triple before that. You'll notice there's a tiny little bit of a groove starting to form in them whoops on the right-hand side. I have got the erode cranked up to 2 times, and you can see it's not deforming really quickly, so it's going to take you a good few laps to get any kind of rage built in. But it being in New Mexico, I imagine that the dirt is slightly on the harder side, so getting it properly dug down might take a little bit longer anyway, which I'm not sure if that's something that he's accounted for yet at this point in the building process. But yeah, on 2.0 times erode right now, it seems to be taking a bit longer. So if let me just try and scrub the shit out of this triple to land nicely. Tag the back end a little bit, stretch that. No, I think that's a little bit too much. If I got my front wheel over, I'd say maybe, but the front wheel just came up way too short there. I'm surprised I didn't end up crashing, but that is a joy of the bike. Should we try it? Hang on, let's try it. Ah, no, I don't think you're able to get back over after you try hitting that wall. That would be very cool though. That would be a nice touch. Maybe if Johnny's watching this to this point at all, maybe you can slant that board a little bit and give us a little wall ride opportunity for the boys that want to get a little bit fancy with it. I love looking at these tracks like this though, because if I hadn't have taken like controller over A or max HUD off or anything like that, I don't think you would be able to tell if this was real or in a game. Like this looks nuts. It's only when you get up like super close that you start seeing that it is more of a picture. But to the untrained eye, when you zoom out a little bit like this, that is nuts. That is crazy to me. And I don't know how to best do this track justice from like a thumbnail perspective. Maybe that. I mean, that looks pretty cool, to be fair. I'm gonna dabble a little bit, but I really enjoy 3D tracks. They're kind of my weak spot on this game, I'll be honest. I imagine the Supercross tracks are a lot easier to 3D scan than outdoors, just due to the size of them overall. But he has said that he's got about another 5 or so that he's got scanned ready to go, like in the works. So I imagine when this one is done, he's going to start on the next one and so on and so forth. So very exciting stuff. Again, it's going to take, he said, about 2 weeks before it all gets said and done. Just other things like off tracks, moving bits out, you know, trying to optimize the track as and when he can, getting all the time in and testing all that stuff out as well. But very happy with this. Very enjoyable track. It's a nice change of pace as well from having like the slightly overscaled stuff from DDC. That's not a dig at DDC stuff at all. They are just different styles. People find different things really fun, and I find this really fun too. So keep your eye out for this. Thank you, Johnny, for letting me play it this early on. It has been a pleasure, and I can't wait to see it once it's all said and done. Thank you everyone for watching. If you did enjoy, please do drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, all that good stuff. Have a lovely rest of the day, wherever you're up to, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.
Lynn's in the zone, never backing down. Riding MX bikes, he's the tour for the town. 2022 champ with a YouTube crown. His game is tight, no signs of slowing down. Late nights, bright lights, he's chasing that fame in the digital arena. Writing his name, she's a 10 out of 10. Supporting his lane, hairline might recede, but his passion's the same.